It begins in the middle of the night. Cities are quiet. Most people are asleep. But deep inside, military command centers, radar screens suddenly start lighting up. At first, it looks like a technical error. A few signals appear on the screen, then dozens, then hundreds. Objects moving across the sky at different speeds. Some slow, some incredibly fast. Within seconds, alarms begin to sound. Military operators immediately understand what is happening. This is not a glitch. This is the beginning of a massive aerial attack. Across the region, emergency sirens begin echoing through cities. Fighter jet pilots are rushed to their aircraft. Air defense crews prepare interceptor missiles. Because in modern warfare, the battlefield is no longer just on land or sea, it is in the sky. And on this night, the sky has suddenly become the most dangerous place on Earth. According to military analysts, modern missile attacks can involve hundreds of weapons launched within minutes. Drones, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, each one designed to overwhelm defenses in a different way. Some drones fly low and slow, attempting to avoid radar detection. Cruise missiles follow terrain at high speed to strike precise targets. Ballistic missiles travel high into the atmosphere before descending toward their targets at extreme velocity. And when hundreds of these weapons are launched at the same time, air defense systems face a serious challenge: numbers. Because every defensive interceptor costs money, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes even millions. And each battery can only launch a limited number of interceptors at once. Military strategists call this tactic saturation warfare. The goal is simple: launch so many weapons that defensive systems cannot stop them all. If even a small percentage get through, the results can be devastating. Air bases could be hit, radar stations destroyed, power infrastructure damaged, command centers disrupted. And once the first wave begins, it rarely ends there, because modern wars are fought in phases. The first phase is the opening strike, the second phase is retaliation, and the third phase is escalation. Within the first hours of a major missile attack, entire air defense networks must respond simultaneously. Systems like Iron Dome, Patriot missile system, and Arrow missile defense system are designed to intercept incoming threats. But when hundreds of missiles and drones appear on radar screens at the same time, even the most advanced systems can be pushed to their limits. This is why military planners around the world study one terrifying question: what happens when hundreds of missiles attack at once? Because the answer could define the future of modern warfare. And as you'll see in this video, the night when 500 missiles filled the sky might not just be a scenario. It might be a glimpse into the wars of the future. While most people are still asleep, far from the cities and radar stations, something else is happening. Missile units are preparing. Inside underground launch facilities, military crews move quickly. Missiles are rolled into position. Fuel systems are checked. Navigation coordinates are uploaded. But these preparations do not take hours. They take minutes. Modern missile forces are designed for speed. Once the order is given, launchers can fire multiple missiles almost instantly. Across several launch sites, the first missiles ignite. A flash of fire, a thunderous roar, and within seconds, ballistic missiles begin climbing rapidly into the night sky. At the same time, another type of weapon begins its journey: attack drones. Unlike ballistic missiles, drones move slowly. But that is exactly what makes them dangerous. They fly low, they change direction, and they can approach from unexpected angles. Cruise missiles follow a different path. Flying close to the ground, they use terrain and navigation systems to stay hidden from radar. Each weapon moves differently. Each is designed to challenge air defense systems in a different way. Military strategists call this a mixed strike package. The goal is to confuse and overwhelm defenders. Within minutes, radar systems begin detecting the incoming threats. Dozens of signals appear, then hundreds. Operators must determine which objects are real weapons and which might be decoys, because modern missile attacks often include fake targets designed to confuse radar systems. At the same time, interceptor batteries prepare to respond. Systems like Patriot missile system and Iron Dome move into full combat mode. Interceptors are loaded, launch tubes open, and command centers begin calculating interception trajectories. But there's one major problem: timing. Ballistic missiles can travel thousands of kilometers in less than 30 minutes. Cruise missiles can approach silently at low altitude, and drones may take hours to arrive, forcing defenders to stay alert for extended periods. This creates a complex battlefield in the sky. Multiple waves, multiple speeds, multiple directions, and every second matters, because once missiles are airborne, stopping them becomes far more difficult. The only defense left is interception, and that battle is about to begin. As the incoming weapons approach, radar systems begin tracking each object carefully. Speed, altitude, direction. Every piece of information helps determine what type of weapon is approaching. Ballistic missiles appear first. They descend rapidly from high altitude. Their speed is extreme, sometimes several kilometers per second. To stop them, specialized interceptors must launch quickly. Systems, such as the Aero Missile Defense System, are designed to intercept ballistic missiles before they reach their targets. Moments after detection, interceptor missiles launch into the sky. Bright streaks of light appear above the horizon. Each interceptor attempts to collide directly with its target, a technique often called hit to kill. If successful, the incoming missile is destroyed before impact. But ballistic missiles are only one part of the attack. Cruise missiles begin appearing on radar next. They fly much lower, sometimes only a few hundred meters above the ground. Their goal is simple: stay hidden, strike critical targets. To stop them, air defense systems must rely on shorter range interceptors and rapid response. At the same time, fighter jets begin entering the battle. Advanced aircraft such as the F-35 Lightning II can detect threats using powerful sensors and radar systems. Pilots may attempt to intercept drones and cruise missiles before they reach defended areas. Air-to-air missiles streak through the sky. Explosions appear in the distance. But the biggest challenge remains numbers. Hundreds of incoming objects create a complex battlefield. Some are real weapons, some are decoys, and some may arrive hours later. This is the true goal of saturation warfare, not just destruction, but exhaustion. Defenders must stay alert for hours, interceptors must be carefully managed, and commanders must decide which targets are the highest priority. Because if even a small number of missiles get through, the consequences could be serious. While air defenses fight to stop the first wave, military planners begin preparing the response. Because modern warfare rarely ends with one attack. Retaliation is almost guaranteed. Surveillance satellites begin scanning launch areas. Reconnaissance drones track missile vehicles moving across remote regions. Military intelligence attempts to identify where the attacks originated. Once targets are confirmed, the next phase begins: counterstrikes. Fighter jets may be dispatched toward launch sites. Precision-guided weapons could target missile facilities. Command centers might attempt to disrupt communications, used to coordinate further attacks. The goal is not only retaliation, it is prevention, stopping the next wave before it launches. But this phase carries serious risks, because once both sides begin striking each other's military infrastructure, escalation becomes far more likely. Every destroyed launch site invites another response. Every airstrike increases the stakes, and the conflict can rapidly expand beyond its original targets. In modern warfare, the first attack often triggers a chain reaction. One strike leads to another. And soon, both sides are fully engaged. At this point, the battlefield is no longer limited to a few missile launches. It becomes a full air war, and the skies grow even more dangerous. As the battle in the sky continues, the effects begin spreading beyond the battlefield. Air travel across nearby regions may be halted. Civilian aircraft are redirected to avoid dangerous airspace. Shipping routes could face disruption. Military forces across the region move into higher alert levels. Naval fleets begin repositioning. Air bases prepare additional aircraft. Because when a large missile attack occurs, other countries must prepare for the possibility of escalation. This is particularly true in strategically sensitive regions. Energy infrastructure becomes a major concern. Oil facilities, gas pipelines, ports, and shipping lanes. Even small disruptions could affect global markets. Financial systems react quickly to uncertainty. Stock markets may fluctuate. Energy prices could rise, and governments begin monitoring the situation closely. Because modern warfare is never isolated, its effects ripple outward. Political leaders face pressure to respond. Allies consider whether they should provide support. International organizations call for de-escalation. But during the first hours of a major conflict, events move extremely fast. Diplomatic solutions often arrive too late, and the situation continues evolving minute by minute. By the time the first 24 hours of conflict have passed, the situation may look very different. Air defenses may have intercepted many incoming threats, but some missiles might still reach their targets. Damage assessments begin. Military commanders evaluate the results of both attacks and defenses. Additional waves of missiles or drones could still be possible. This is why the first day of any modern war is often the most unpredictable. Both sides test each other's capabilities. Defenses are analyzed, strategies are adjusted, and new plans are prepared. Because modern warfare is not decided in a single strike. It unfolds over time. Each action shapes the next response, and every hour increases the pressure on leaders to either escalate further or find a way to stop the conflict before it grows even larger. But one lesson becomes clear. The night when hundreds of missiles fill the sky is not just a dramatic moment in a conflict. It is a warning, a glimpse into the future of modern warfare, a future where technology, speed, and massive aerial attacks could define the battles of tomorrow, and where the battle for the sky may determine the outcome of wars before armies ever meet on the ground.